feel like I'm going to be attacked by an orange. Hi, so I'm going to talk to you about intuition today. Intuition is like a knowing without understanding how you got to knowing. It's like a connective response between a link that's made between our conscious and our unconscious mind, and it's all about trust. It's all about trust. I mean, we've built up this framework today on how to think or how to do things, but with intuition, it's very free. There's no framework for it. There's no structure for it. It's all about your inner voice, and a lot of people talk about this inner voice. Listen to your inner voice. It's like the whispers behind the noises that echoes from your unconscious parts of your mind, because our mind is really noisy sometimes. To listen to that, we have to be really still-minded or really in tune with our intuition. A lot of professionals, a lot of scientists I know use intuition a lot, but it's not something that people ride on the most. Mostly today, people, when they think or when they doing something, the thought process is mostly based off another person's perception of something in a certain scenario. But for example, if you were put in a different scenario and you had to calculate something, and you've never been in this scenario before, and you had to do this formula or whatever, what would you do? So normally you could take a look at other case studies and with similar scenarios and try and calculate it, or you can do a trial and error, use all the formulas you know until you get the right one. But what is that doing? That's using a lot of time, and time is something that is precious to many professionals and is precious to many people. So it's precious to you and I. We have a gift of intuition, and to use that in a time like this would be very beneficial. So what you would do is you're going to just go with your intuition and see where that takes you. That might cut down so much of time. However, what sets apart a impulsive guess from an intuitive response? That's the problem here. How do we know whether this is our intuition speaking or this is just the hastiness and the fear speaking? And so, the haste to finish this problem, and like you're not really tapping into your intuition. How do you know if you're doing the right thing? I look at it like this. Let's take a wild guess. It's literally called a wild guess. It's something that you would feel is made from fear. You'd feel a little bit of sensitivity, a little bit of emotion, feel a little bit of sweat. Those are just physical symptoms, but with a wild guess, you'd feel that your mind is thinking a bit too much. So now you're going and second guessing. You are doubting. You are asking questions. Is it right, or is that possible? You are asking other questions to support the guess you just made. It's very scattered. Your mind is very scattered at that moment. It's just like a wheel spinning around, and these are the answers, and whichever the wheel stops on, that's the answer. That's kind of what a wild guess is like. However, with intuition, it's you entering a conscious part of your mind, and that's a deeper part of your mind, and so it's going to be soft and silent. It is tapping into your inner knowledge, and your response will be very straightforward and resilient. You won't have to have reasoning as to why that's your response. It will just be there, resilient, echoing. That will be your response. So Albert Einstein once said, the intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. and he said that we've created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. And when I think about that, and I think about now, we're changing, the world is changing, and I think that there are going to be many new scenarios coming up towards us, as you can see. And where are you going to get the answers from? It's like you have to now tap into your intuition to answer some of those questions, because that knowledge is not available out there, but it may be available inside here. Which, brings me to this. Take the first step. Become aware with your inner voice. It is to also believe and trust that you have an inner voice. I think there's a lot of potential up here. We have a lot of potential in our minds, and many people agree with that there's a lot of potential that our minds have. Unlock the potential, they say. But I'm going to take this notion a bit further. I would say that we have all of the knowledge up here. It's all about deep trust in that you do, and a strong intuition. I'm talking about trust. I'm talking about trust that you've never felt before. Trusting yourself can be harder than trusting someone else, and that's a bit sad, in this world. Yes, trusting yourself is harder than trusting someone else. So taking that step to start trusting yourself and trying to listen to that inner voice is important. It's very helpful. I've used my intuition a lot, especially in university. It's been very, very helpful. I know in work it's also been helpful. In some scenarios, in tests, it would be very helpful in exams. However, I wouldn't say that you shouldn't study. You have to study, because sometimes intuition is tapping into your inner knowledge, or knowledge that you've just put into your mind, your brain. So studying is good. However, I would say that you must be careful between your intuition and your ego. Our ego is always playing with our other deeper parts of us. So how do you balance those two? Example, your intuition is telling you you are wrong about something. Your ego could clash with that intuitive response and say, no, you're right, because that's your ego. It's trying to defend you. So we need to be careful with how our ego is going to be clashing with our intuition. That's very important. Then again, when you do feel that clash, you would feel uneasiness. You won't feel a peaceful answer. You'd feel an uneasiness coming through when the other side, your ego, starts clashing and giving you another answer. Spiritualness is all about going within, understanding yourself, trusting. It's like a cycle of knowing, tapping into the universe, and then tapping into yourself, and seeing how you and the universe are one. Quite literally, we are all made from stardust. Yes, we are all made from stardust. We are a part of this big universe. We are made from what this universe is made from. Factually saying, yes, our intuition can help us connect to this larger part that we are made from. Some people call intuition drops from the universe being a larger part of us. One of the key principles, the grounding principles of spirituality is intuition. Knowing thyself is to listen to thyself, thy inner self. So it is used in a lot of spiritual practices. It's very important. You'd know, if you are a spiritual person, how much you value your intuition. I think it's important to start strengthening our intuition. I said earlier how we're going into a world that is changing. There are going to be a lot of changes. We start off with setting the tone, raising our vibrations, breath control is very helpful, closing your eyes, and most importantly is emptying your mind. Not thinking when you feel like you should be thinking, because if you're thinking so much, you're just guessing. So I'm going to be doing just now, after this, a exercise with you that can help you strengthen your intuition. And all you need is a piece of paper and a pen. Try to use your intuition more often. That if you use it more often, it works better. I hope this exercise that I'm going to do with you now is going to be very helpful. I hope your intuition starts to bloom slowly. The intuition, this process, it takes time. And so if you practice this every day, the inner voice will start increasing its volume. And you'd be able to lessen the voice. You'll be able to put the volume down on that chaotic noise of our mind. So get a piece of paper and pen, and we're going to do automatic writing for this exercise. I want you to start clearing your mind, calm down a bit, and I'm going to play some music about a minute, and you're going to close your eyes and you're going to get in the zone. Before I go on to playing the music, automatic writing is when you just write without thinking. So after I play the music and you close your eyes and you get into the zone, I'm going to ask a simple question and you're going to write the first thing that comes to your mind. I won't tell you the question yet because that will make you think. So start getting into the zone, quiet down. So I hope everybody's a little still and quiet. I hope your mind is quiet. And my question to you is, what are you going to eat next? Now, I asked you that question, and the reason why I asked you this is because one of the advantages of using intuitive responses or intuitive channeling is that it channels your mind, body, and soul. So asking what do I need to eat next is also asking your body, not just your mind. So your intuition is going to tell you something that your body needs too. So I got beans, and that makes sense. I'm vegetarian and I need my protein. But it's understandable. That's how I know it was an intuitive response. So let me know in the comments what did you get, and did it make sense? And let me know about your experiences with intuition, how it's going for you, and whether you use it often. Hi there, thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to visit the links in the description below. And give this video a thumbs up.